The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. This is Dalibor Strop again. Welcome to today's webinar. And today I would like to talk about one topic, which is one thing which most people don't even know about. And many people, if they know about it, they don't use it. It's really powerful strategy, especially for the new ones. And it's using the third party. So for example, you are just first day in this business and you don't know how to do the presentation, you don't know how all the system works, you don't know much about the product, but you can start building your business right away because you can use third-party tools and people, others people testimonials, others people success, and help your prospect to see the bigger picture. So one example, you just got started, you have idea who you want to show the business to, and you send them the recorded webinar or recorded presentation. It's using the third party. So somebody else or something else, third party tool will do the job for you. Another example is after watching this presentation, your prospect said, okay, it looks interesting, but I have a lot of questions. Then you ask your sponsor or somebody in your line to do a three-way call, so they have chance to talk to somebody who is much longer in the business than you are. So you are using actually your sponsors and your upline's credibility and their success, so they can share their success with your prospects. And another thing is that if you have, for example, you are trying to recruit somebody who is on maternity leave. So if you have in your team somebody else, some other young mother who is also on maternity leave, try to put them together. You just tell your prospect, like, for example, Jane, I have another lady exactly like you. She's on maternity leave. She's in this business for a couple of months, and she can share with you how she is doing this business. And of course, those two women can relate to each other much easier than to you, for example, if you are a guy or you do the business totally different way. So this is really powerful strategy, and the reason why people are not using it is probably comes down to our childhood, when we are taught that we should be independent, which is of course true, but in this business you cannot succeed as individual. You can only succeed if you working in a team, if you always talking to your sponsors on at least weekly basis. No, on the beginning it should be daily basis, definitely, and you using them as your business tool, as a third-party testimonial, third-party. You just sharing their story, their success, and help you using them to help you to recruit new business into your new people into your business. After this really short webinar, I will send you also a link to great video which was done by Dan Kedo. It's Dan Kedo on one of his trainings, and he explained that idea in a great way. So guys, if you have any questions, just type it into questions area. I wanted to make it really short and straight to the point. So if you are not using third party, if you are not using your sponsor as your business tool, just start doing it right away. Just after this presentation or after the webinar, pick up the phone, call to your sponsor, and set up the meetings or Skype calls with your prospects, with him or her. Do it right away. Don't waste your time. Don't think that you can do this business on your own. It will really help you tremendously. So I cannot see any questions. I understand it because it's quite straightforward. Thank you for watching. of course, it's recorded, so I will send the recorded version of this webinar. So share it in your group. I know that many people from Ireland, they have a big event today, so they are not here. So please share it with your group and meet again next week, the same time, on our weekly webinar. So thank you very much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Promote. Let's go back to that for a second. We're not going back to that for a second. World-class promoter. This is the second last slide I want to share with you. 20 years ago, when I got involved in the industry, my coach and my mentor said to me, Dan, you know, if you cannot ever get to the front of the room, if you can never do a training, if you can never do a product presentation, if you can never do a conference call, if you're uncomfortable being in the front of the room, if your skills are not that good at all of the things that happens in the business, but you can do one thing, you will succeed if you can do that. And that was to become a world-class promoter. A world-class promoter. And I didn't quite understand what Jeff meant back then, the name of my coach and my mentor. But he said, Dan, if you can get those people in front of the big picture, think about this. Think about this. If you are not a good retailer, you're not a good recruiter, you can't talk on the phone, you can't sell, you can't talk at the front of the room, the meetings or the events, but you can get people to a meeting. You can get people in front of your sponsor. You can get people to come to the big event. Let the big picture do the talking for you. I see you nodding in that. I started to understand. Because he said, Dan, because I didn't understand, I didn't know what to say in the very beginning. He said, you provide the people, I'll provide the presentation. I said, I can do that. And I didn't know what to say, but I knew I was excited enough. They say ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. I don't know if that's going to get translated. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. I did not understand 20 years ago much about this business. But I knew if I could get those people like I was, that were so excited, like I was, people that maybe were broke or people who were looking for an opportunity, if I could get them in front of the people who could share the story and tell the story, it would take care of itself. And I could do that. So remember this, in talking with your people and helping your leadership and helping your team and all of your people, if they can just get their people, their guests, their prospects in front of the big picture, becoming a world-class promoter, you will succeed long term.